Hello guys, welcome back to the stream. So we left some tests yesterday. I'll be completing some tests today, and maybe this will be the ending phase of testing. Before that, I have to talk about something. I was testing one thing. Let me just show you. Firstly, let me just go clear or go clean test cache. So I'm removing the test cache. Set the environment again, setting the environment so that Redis tests can run. Now go test dot slash dot dot dot. So I spotted a flaky test. It sometimes pass, it sometimes fail. So I'm grabbing fail. Oh, sorry. Control C. Let's call it this. So sometimes the test passes, sometimes the test fails. This is the test. So it sometimes passes, it sometimes fails. So uh, when I was going through it, I was not able to find how it was occurring. So I went deep into it, and when I checked everything out, there was it was the issue of parallel running tests. So when tests are running in Go, they run in parallel. So multiple clear Redis calls are made, and multiple times the Redis is uh, filled filled with the what we call it data before initializing the tests. So for that, what we can do is we can set up a Redis distribution system so that let me just draw something for you so that I can better give you the thing I want to tell you. So the thing is uh, Redis. This is our Redis. Redis. It is divided into like 0, 1, 2, and so on up to database number 15. So inside a Redis instance, we have 15 databases. So what I am suggesting is I will mark this as default database. If someone wants to use single database for testing, they can do so. And I will construct a utility that will assign database based on the directory. So if I call database Redis database from, let's say, internal slash API. So there will be a different Redis instance. There will be different for this one. There will be different for every directory as it is. Um, I will use the hashing algorithm known as, let me just get the reference. The hashing algorithm known as Fowler null hash, or in short FNV, which is a Go library hash. It is a non-cryptographic hash. So computation power will be low, and there will be chances of collision, but uh, with the directories as less as I have, the collision chances don't really matter that much. So this is best bet for now. Later maybe I'll switch to something other than this, but for now I will implement a simple hashing algorithm that will hash the directory and assign it a database. And also one thing other than that, in the test utils, uh, I never set the updated at um, what we call it field. So let me set it down. Now updated at is set to now. Everything is been set here. That was one issue other than that. And let me just do write the test utils for that. So for the Redis, we have a get Redis client. What I'm thinking it inside get Redis client, it should pass options. Let me get the options. Options dot db equals to, it will get options from a function, but for now let's use default db, but let me create the function that will supply the db number. So let's create a function redis db, redis test db. So it's a function that will provide us with the testing dot t. It will provide us with the integer number of the database we want to access. So if the user wants test db to be a static db, he can pass something like an environment variable, or we can redis test db. Yep, that is great. Raw, if not like this, if os.get env not equal to empty string, then we will convert the value to a string, and not like this. We will use something like value comma arr, but then I will write in the readme that test should be run sequentially instead of parallelly. ATOI, sorry. So I want ASCII to integer, and I will pass on the value, and let's pass on the value as raw. Raw not equals to this. Pass on the value as raw, and quick fix, add imports trfront. And next thing I need to do is, if there is no error, fail to pass error not equals to nil, fail to pass redis test db, and we will return the value. Here one more thing we need to check is value less than 0 or value greater than 15, because we have access to 0 to 15. We don't want any value. What if the user sends 1 or -1? Then it should fail. Now next thing I will do is get the directory. How will I get the directory? Is using runtime.caller. So it will tell us which function called our this. So I will pass on 2 as skip. So what does 2 mean? So 2 here means that it will skip this function, so that it does not result in sending the metadata about this function. It will skip this function, the caller function 1, and it will provide us with the caller function 2, whatever the function it's calling, whatever the function is calling the get redis client. So let's write about it. If not, okay, we will use default return default value, that will be 0, and if okay, then we will get the directory equals to, how will I get the directory? Is using the file path, what we call as file path module or package, file path package. It has a function directory which will result in giving us the directory of the file, and then we will create a hasher function. We'll create a hasher using fnv dot new 32a. So there are 2 types of fnv. One is our, let me just talk about it. One is our fnv1 and fnv1a. So they both differ in their working. So fnv1 is for somewhat like where we want advanced version, we can call it advanced hasher, and it has different methods like new 64a, new 128a, and something like that. It goes up to 1024 bits version. So that's what we are looking for. We are going to go for our what do we call it, 32-bit version. We will hash values in 32-bit version. So I have a hasher which is a 32-bit hash generator. So hash generator. Now what I will do is I will add the hash value. Yep, this is what we need. I am writing a value for the directory as bytes into the new 32A. So it will have 32 bits directory value, and it will return int of hasher.sum mod 16, not mod 16. I will mod 15 plus 1. Now you might be wondering why mod 15 plus 1, because we don't want to assign 0 value here. 0 is for default value. Um, we want to assign value from 1 to 15. Return a value between 1 and 15, resolving 0 called manual testing and debug. Yes. So here options we will have Redis test DB and pass on T. That's all we need here. And I don't think anything else needs to be changed. Let's see the testing. Now let's see the testing. Let's first clean the cache, and let's grab fail again. If the test fails, no, the test doesn't fail. I can simply check all the tests. Go test dot. So they are passing or not. It's okay, okay, okay. So they are all passing. No test is failing. So we can say that's how we handle the flaky test. Later on, I might be changing the test structure or a running sequence. Maybe I will prompt it to run sequentially, just like in GitHub Actions I have done. In GitHub Actions, what I have done is I have passed along, let me show you my YAML script. In my actions, I have passed along P1. It means one at a time or sequentially. I could have used this in development also, but in development I want faster test results with something like that. So it works fine. I can also remove this now, but let it be, no issues. Let's go to the next part. We need to do is now we will be doing is let me write the test for different modules, packages. The package we will be writing test is a simple package matrix underscore test dot go. There is not much to test here. I will test only one behavior, that is normalizing the label text. As you can see, it has a normalize label function that trims the spaces and returns the label. I will only be testing this. So package matrix. Okay. Fun test normalize label. So I will be using this P star testing.t. I will import this, import testing. Okay. So the test implementation will be, I will have a struct. I will use what we call as table driven test here. It will have name, not name. It will be input and expected. A string, my queue. These are different methods which we will test. So the my queue should become my queue. This should become this. This should become this. This should become this. It's testing this. Let's run it. It passes, and we don't need anything else here. So matrix package is done. Next package we will do is the API package. Before moving on to the API package, I'm thinking of writing some helpers because as you remember, let me tell you, as you remember in the qtest.go, we had to create um, functions, request with queue-param, context with route. So what I will do is I will uh, I will have to use these functions everywhere. So I will make them helper functions in our test utils. So let me create a file. Let's name it handlers underscore API dot co. API underscore handlers dot co. It is for API route. Package will be our test utils. Then we will be doing is first we'll create a helper function request. We will need it to be exported request with that was queue-param, but we need every route as different. So request with route param. So it will take not a name in the queue. As we can see, it only took a name, but here we will need a method. We will need the path. We will need the key value and body IO reader. So let me pass them. So method, path, key value, and yep, these will be string parts. Next I will need is a body, which will be IO dot body or IO dot reader. Yep, that was not body reader, that was reader. Let me just complete this one here. It will pass along the, it will give us a HTTP request and import it to. Next, I will do is I'll create a request equals to HTTP test dot new request with method path and our body, and we will return we need to create another helper function for this func with route param. Yeah, this one. I will need a request a parameter which will be, instead of key value passing like this, I will pass on a slice, sorry, a map, which will be a string to string map. So it will pass result in an HTTP request. We will have a route context, just like Copilot did. G.route context, and for k into e, this I will have to import G context with route. This is not looking good to me. Request dot with context dot with value, this one, request dot context G dot router context e and router context route context. Yep, that's we need. So I will call this with route param and pass along our request and the map to string string generated by e value, and that's done. Another helper function I will need for all this is decoding JSON, because JSON will be used a lot, so I need to decode that. Func decode JSON. So it will take testing, start testing, body, and yeah, v as any. So it will be a helper function. If error json.record is type v, and this will be failed to decode JSON. I will import the JSON package, and this is what we need. Was the testing issue? We should import it too, and I think everything with this is done. So let's move on to the implementations. Firstly, I will change the implementation of you with um, should I change it? Should I not? Should I change it? That's the thing. Should I change it? Let's change it to for the sake of consistency. So here I will return um, test users dot create dot um, request with the parent, and http dot method was post, then path will be our slash u slash plus name, just like we had before. The key will be name and the value will be nil, or yep, this is what we need. Sorry, the value will be name and the uh, body will be name. Sorry. So context with route is not needed now. I will remove this from here, and where is it called? This is gone. Context from here is gone, and I think this works fine for now. Okay, now coming on to the major tests. First, I will write tests for DLQ routes, list dead jobs, replay dead jobs. I will write test for each of the route. So DLQ underscore test dot go. So let's write some tests. What should be our first test week? That should be test list your jobs. The package handlers, or we can use package handlers test. If I don't need anything from the, yeah, this will work fine. So test list dead jobs. Wait a second, guys. I have to do something. Set. Sorry for the delay. Where was I? I was writing test list their jobs. So it should be processing the testing package. T star testing dot g. That should be it. What we will test is success g dot run success. We will be testing two scenarios. The first will be success scenario, and the second will be something like if what we call it. Let me test it, check it, what it returns. Right error status not found. Return a server error. Not this one, this one. So list only results in a what do we call error. Okay, I will test this scenario where it is not configured properly, something like that. DLQ is not configured properly. So DLQ store will create a DLQ store. We will use a memory store here because in the Redis, yep, there's a issue. There's one issue. Assignment mismatch, but DLQ not ready. There's one issue that we don't have the what we call it memory store for DLQ, so we have to do testing on Redis DLQ. Okay, no issues. We have to create a client. I was thinking of using only the memory versions dot get Redis client with T, and that should be it. A DLQ store, new Redis DLQ store, and a handler. Not this one. I will have a DLQ store here. I will pass on the client here and test DLQ. It only asks for the client, so I have passed the client. So assignment mismatch, DLQ returns two values and error. We are not concerned about the error because no issues, because it was already tested in the DLQ package, but no issues. We'll create a handler new, pass on only the DLQ store, which is this. Cannot use DLQ store. This is not where we need it. First request store queue manager nil. I will pass on nil here, and then it's need, and then it asks for DLQ. And here will be DLQ store. Then it asks for factory and a registrar. Nil. Yep, this is what we need. So we have a handler here. It returns us a handler. We'll create a new request. HTTP test dot new request. Okay, the new request will be HTTP dot method. It will be a get request to our slash DLQ, and it will have a nil as our body. So we'll have a recorder set up for the request. Then we will call h.list dead jobs, and if h.list is not okay, expected status to be 200, but got this okay. And next thing we will need is where dead jobs. Will create a dead job, not this. I need a job dot job struct, and we'll decode JSON here. Test utils dot decode JSON. T body is our let's pass along the rr dot body, and v is our dead jobs. No, dead job, not the dead jobs, but the dead jobs. Yep. But the pointer to the dead jobs. This we need memory address to the dead job. If length of dead jobs is not equals to 1, we need dead jobs to be 1. Yes, expected 1 dead job. Dead job dot %d. Let's test this out. So environment is already loaded. So test There was one, yep, like this. I need to run dot internal slash job instead of dot internal slash job, dot internal slash API slash handlers. I need to run um, our test is named run test list dead jobs. Okay, expected one dead job got 0. Yep, we never encoded the job. One thing we need to do is list dead jobs. We never added the dead job inside. So I need to add the dead job to the what we call as our DLQ. So let me dead jobs is empty this decode JSON dot body. Can I pass something like slash. So it's not needed, I guess, because test dead length of that is already done is our unit test. So it's just for integration test with the API. So this is done. Next, DLQ store not configured. This h.list dead jobs and this one. Okay, it should pass if it is passing. So if DLQ store is not provided, it should return with the internal service error. Next, we need to test as replay dead jobs. So test replay dead jobs, we create a new Redis client. First thing we will test there is success. T.run success. We'll create a DLQ store. If error in creating a DLQ store, we'll create a request. We'll replace the dead job and this. And if DLQ store is not configured, okay. New Redis store is DLQ store is being created here. Then what we are doing is we are creating a request. Test utils the request with param. Yep, we need HTTP method. HTTP dot method. It should be post slash DLQ slash replay 123 ID 123 nil this replay dead jobs. If rr.count is not equals to this, expected status this and got this. Before this, what I should do is create a dead job. That dead job is to test utils dot new test job. Will pass along ID as 1, 2, 3, priority as 5, and delay as 0. And then we will have dead job dot status at job dot status dead and include the job package. And lastly, I will save it into our DLQ store. DLQ store. We have a DLQ store here, and I will save the job. DLQ store dot save. Context will be our context dot bag. We can pass along yeah, context dot background works fine, and job will be dead job. So it should result in HTTP dot status okay, expected status okay, got this. After replying, we need to check, but that is already being checked in the, so we also only need to check this one, and it's passing. So if DLQ store is not configured, then we do this and internal server error. Lastly, we need to test delete jobs. test delete dead job. Okay, t.run success. We'll create a new job inside job.status and save that into our DL queue. Then we are creating a new request with DL and method delete and h.delete that job. We are calling that. And if our other code is not equal to this, then we will do this. If our and this is same as above. The test is pretty easy here. Next, we need to test is our job handlers. So let me write the test about them too. So what are our jobs handler? What are the function job handler? Create job and create job on queue and get job. So let me write tests for them. Jobs underscore test dot go. So let's write test of them. So first thing we need is package handlers. We'll import testing, testing, testing. Not we will need test utils, but we don't need these many right now. For now, let's move on to this, and I think this is good to go. Let's close this out. First thing we'll do is fun test create job. It will create a job. So I'll have a store which will be an in-memory store now. So job dot new memory store dot new memory store. TTL, let's not pass the TTL. It's not required. Queue manager. We will create a new queue manager queue dot queue manager, and this is it. Then we'll have a queue which we will register, and let's name it default. And why is this st here? New memory queue that only takes name, and we will register the queue. Queue manager dot register. This should not fail as it was already tested. Then an ID generator. We will have Snowflake dot new. Let's have a machine ID of 5 because we don't want it to clash our already existing system of 1. So I created a new handler with the passing these as the parameter. I didn't pass the DLQ, queue factory, and the registrar. T.run successfully created a job, or success we can call it. Success. We can call it success. So we will create a request body. Let's create a request body instead. Request body. Type email payload to type email and priority. We should pass on priority. We don't need much from this. This is it. What is the issue here? I should just converge it into one line. So I have this and this. Next thing I need to do is create a request. HTTP test dot new request with the HTTP dot method post. Then our target is /jobs. If I may remember correctly, it was /jobs. Let me check it out. It is /jobs. Okay. And bytes dot new buffer string. So we are creating a byte string here, new buffer string of rec body. We are creating a recorder This dot create job is recorded dot this var creating job this, and this should work fine. This is not present. Some things are not there, so I should indulge in created job as job.job. Okay, so here we'll have test utils dot decode JSON. So decode JSON gives us nothing. So I should just do this and remove this also. Okay, so we are decoding the JSON. If created job dot type is not equals to mail, or we can keep it as or created job dot priority is not equals to 5, and remove it, and we will test it if it exists in our store, if it exists in our store. If we don't want this, we only need the error store.get created job.id. If it gives us an error, then it means the job is not present. If queue.length is not equals to 1, we will say expected job to be enqueued. Queue length should be 1 dot this. Yep. Next, we will pass t.run. What if we pass along invalid JSON? Invalid request body. This. Okay, invalid JSON, expected status, bad request. Let's run it out. ID. What is this? Not enough arguments in call to st.get. It needs context too. So I'll pass now context dot background, and here decode JSON needs a body and type. So I should pass along rr.body, and here I need to also pass along the t. This is what we need to do. Let's format it out, and this is all set. Here's the next thing. It's not the queue managery. Queue dot new memory queue manager, new queue manager. That's we need. And let's run this out. Instead of test list get jobs, I will run test create job. Okay, so expected status 201 got 400. Where test create job success. Okay, let's see. Expected status 201. Where is it? Where is it? Here. So it's creating a new job with buffer.new buffer string rect body. This should work. What? Why isn't it working? Priority 5. Type email. Okay, rep was to. We can say JSON dot decode JSON dot mark. But we need to check the bytes error because bytes of this create job or bytes dot new the first thing. Instead of this, let's try to pass along JSON dot new equals bytes dot new the first thing. Type equivalent as IO reader value in argument. So new request needs IO reader, IO dot reader. That should be a byte array, bytes, new buffer string. So it does not need JSON. So we are calling rr.create job. Let me test your jobs, how it is structured. So create request job. Here it is. It's getting this queue manager decoder, new decoder. So we are decoding the JSON here. Dot body is its type request and invalid JSON. Okay. HTTP status where request type is required. Where is it returning? Internal server error. We got expected status 201, got 400. That should be status bad request. Okay, status bad request. It comes from if rec.type is not equals to this, if rec.type is this and this. Now rec.delay, status internal. Yeah, these are all. So these three are our pinpoints. These three can give us error, status bad request. Uh, Before moving forward, give me a sec, guys. I have to get my food. I'll be back in a second. Sorry for the interruption. Let's see what are we handling. So it's 400 errors. Let me see. New request we are creating. Method target body. One thing I need to check is, does it require the context of the request? This does not require context of the request. This one requires the context, I guess. This also doesn't require the context. R dot context. It requires the R dot context. It requires R dot context. But the context response does this. This shouldn't be like this. What if we create a request with test utils dot request with route parent method as http dot method post our path is our slash job and key value pair. We need a key value pair. Key as a string and a value as a string. I can instead take this as no, this will not. I have to update that too, but that already is being used in another. So bytes dot new buffer string. New buffer string with returns as byte dot buffer. Initialize a new buffer using string S as its initial content. It is intended to prepare a buffer to read an existing string. In most cases, new buffer or just declaring a buffer variable is to initialize a buffer. Bytes dot. Do we have any other method? Bytes dot. Application first. New bytes dot. New buffer creates an initializing using buffer as initial. Buffer takes ownership of the buffer. It takes ownership. It takes Okay. We don't have a type like remote. So this is what we need to do. With the- hmm, hmm, hmm. But this is string, we'll parse it. Is it actually so maybe this will parse. Yep, valid request passes. But the test create jobs gives us 4. That means some issue with our decoder here. Our type is not getting passed. Uh, how does a request gets passed? Well, if I may remember, these are my types. So type this logger and priority 5. Maybe this will help us. So let's try type run fail. This is not the issue. Oh, whoa. This is the issue. Yep, the issue was a single comma. Shit, man. Jason parsing was failing. That was the issue. I was sure my code didn't have any issue. Sorry for that stupid mistake. Sometimes it happens. Okay. Um, do we need to validate anything else? Let's validate the two things. E.run. Missing required fields. Yep, this one is good. We will only pass the priority. We will not pass test type. So it should give us here we will missing required. Yeah, these tests are good to go and they are passing. No issues. Next we will need to do is um, write test for the test create job on queue. But there is not much difference between these two. Uh, Apart from that, the second one uses a queue, and the above one doesn't use a queue. Uh, a specific queue. The second test create on job on queue will use a specific queue. One test create job on queue. So let me go through it. It was test create job on queue. Yep, this one. We need to create a store, a queue manager, a queue, and a queue manager register. In this, we'll create a ID like this. T.run success. We will add the utility test method this queue custom. Yep, h dot create job on queue. We will decode the job. If the type is not equals to this, if length is not equal to this, then this works. Q not found, but Q not found. This will work. Yep. So the tests are success and the Q not found. Rest of the tests are similar to this one, so no need in rewriting the tests. Created job is not equal to this. It is what it is doing is it is creating a custom queue, registering it with the queue register, and then calling uh, uh, the route like this with the value this and a key value pair queue custom, and checking if we get the same output and everything passes. If queue is not found, it should just give us internal server error. Okay. Next, we need to test the other functions. We have one function left. What was it? test get job. Yep. Punk test get job. What job? It was like this. So what I will do here is again create a store, new memory store, um, and without anything, I will just initialize the handler. First, I will create a, let's create t.run success. We will create a job. Okay, this is fine, no issues. This, this, this. So if our, yep, this one is what I need. If our code not equals to status okay, and we give this English job not found. We ask for a non-existent job, and that should return us a bad request. So job.job is not type. So word job dot, yeah, is not a type. Job package is not being shown. If is the package here, okay, it should be available. Let me just check this out. We get the job or the code that decode JSON. Word job should be of type job.job. Job.job, not. It will be job.job. It's not a type. Why is it not a type? It was a type till now. We are creating a new job. We are saving the job. Then we are creating a request with route param. New recorder h.get job request and status okay. Why is this an issue? A problem. Job.job is not a type. Until now, it was a type. Maybe this is the issue. Yep, this is the issue. Job this. Anything else we need? Nope. Let's check it out. Instead of test create jobs, I will just run all the tests. So internal API handlers, something is failing. There is some segmentation fault. In test replay job dot, oh, invalid memory address or null reference. We covered read segmentation violation. We need to check it out. In success, there's a panic. Okay. In test replay, dead jobs. Okay, we have a panic. Okay, fail to create DLQ store. DLQ store dot save. Needs a job. Okay. Invalid segmentation violation. Goroutine this. Okay. So what I should do is, firstly I should save this job to store. st job dot new Redis store, because it is working on Redis, so I need to pass on the Redis. And the TTL is let's say 5 into time dot minute, 5 minute, and it will give us a state on the error. We are not concerned about the error. st dot save. Maybe now it will work. fail, still fail, invalid memory address, or nil pointer dereference. Where am I dereferencing a nil pointer? Okay. This can't work with the, yep, this can't work with our, what do we call as Redis-based setup, because in Redis-based setup, uh, after replayed add jobs is called, um, the replayed add jobs passes the job into the, what we call as, let me just tell you, queue manager dot default queue get just save. Let's save this to a job in store. So I need to pass along the, hmm, hmm, hmm. I need to pass along the handler. Okay, st job dot new redis store client real 5 into time dot minute, and it should give us an error which we don't concern, and a queue manager, new test queue manager. It will be queue dot new queue manager, queue dot new memory queue default. We don't need to, but save it as qm dot register queue, and we'll create a handler new stq manager. Our DLQ should be passed here to here. The DLQ store should be initialized here. Okay, new Redis client, and pass along the DLQ store here. Here we need our queue manager ID generator. ID gen ID gen, not the test utils dot new ID generator. Snowflake dot new with verify. Okay, this. Okay, to create this, if error not equals to null, then to create DLP store. We have a handler. We don't need this one. And yep, I think now this should work. Yep. So the issue was it needed access to the queue and the store. Uh, if I had Redis memory based queue, then memory based dead letter queue, then this should not have happened. But no issues. We'll change the test later. But for now, let's stick with the Redis based client. And jobs is done. And I think everything here is done. Any other test we need to do with the API? I don't think so. Let's think about it. Last one package we need to test. Do we need to test it, or do we need not to test it? That's up to us. Do we need to test the handler package? What it does is it creates a registry and registers using this and unlock. Let's test for concurrency and some stuff, and that's we will call testing over for now. Later on, from today onwards, I will switch to test driven development. Let's create a mock. Let's create a mock function for everything. So we have a registry. Instead of, we can create a recording registry. Registrar, it will have a count, and that's all we need. Anything more we need is nothing else we need. No, we need a mock handler. It should be a struct. It should have a function, handle func. It should be a func that will satisfy this, and quick fix job dot job. Then we will create a handle function over this mock handler. Func handle, that will give us if h dot handle this. Yes, it should do is return. It should return h dot handle func with context and job. That's all we need here. Next we need is create a test registry. Next we need to test the registry from test the registry. So it will have multiple things. We will create a new registry, new registry. So how should I write test? I should only test for concurrency. T dot run concurrency, because that's the main issue. Nothing else is that much of an issue. It will be fun. Test T dot testing dot T, this one, this. What is it writing? It is too much of a thing. We don't want this much code. What I can do is I can simply create a, let me just create a t.1. What is the issue? Let's fix it. So okay, we have a registry. We need a sync.wait group. Okay, we have a wait group. Num goroutines. Let's have 100 goroutines. For I in range this to this. We will add the go func. It will be I and will differ wg.done. Then we will create a job type plus string handler mock handler. This is too much again too much. Register dot register mock handler doesn't mock handler and register dot get. We will have the job type here. This is what we need to test, and I should call it with I. And the next thing I need to do is close out this and wg.wait. And this should work fine. This will work. Okay, build fail. Not a string. Conversion from int to strings yields a string of 1. Yep. I need to convert this. Let's use run here. Run I, and this will go down. Run test. And it's passing. So I think all the testing for now is done. From today, from tomorrow onwards, what I will do is I will have what we call as, I will have a transition to our library. So from tomorrow onwards, I will start the work on transitioning to a library. And after that, I need one more thing. Middleware section is empty. And let me add further improvements. Add memory implementation for this. Add middleware support, and anything else we need. Before that, I think this is done. So we can call it day. And with that, thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Where is my OBS?